Perfect. Perfect.
What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining me. My name is Steve. Welcome to the channel where we talk sneakers, beer and whiskey, tech, and soon cars. We're getting there as we grow this channel. I really appreciate you joining me. And today we're going to talk about my first ever customer experience with the sneaker high-end goods material resale company called StockX. Now, I've actually never purchased a pair of sneakers through StockX until this past week when one of my bids finally got accepted. I put that bid up a few weeks prior to that. I've never been an active user on the StockX site. Now, considering that the headquarters for StockX is like literally 7 or 8 miles away from my house here in Detroit, I figured it was about time that I support the people down there at StockX in downtown Detroit, give them a little bit of my business, and then report to you guys my overall experience in purchasing a pair of sneakers through them. You know, not a insignificant purchase either. They cost me over $200, and the pair that I went with was something that I knew I would have a hard time finding true dead stock for a good price and kind of verified and authentic and all that. I mean, I didn't want to get ripped off, right? Nobody wants to get ripped off. Everyone wants to get what they think they're paying for, and they want to be happy with the product. So I went with a pair of Jordan 16s, the retro release from 2016. Now, it's not the most talked about or hyped up sneaker when it re-releases and things like that. It's not one of these crazy Grail Jordan releases. But for me, there is a nostalgic bias. The time it came out, February of 2001, was a pivotal moment in my becoming a man. I was a sophomore in high school. So, you know, a lot of things that happened in that time frame are things that stick with you as you become an adult. So I have an emotional attachment to this Jordan because I played in them. I wore multiple pairs of them. And I saw MJ play in them as well. So I always like to do a quick history of the sneaker that we are talking about in any given video, and we're gonna go through a quick rundown of the history behind this Jordan 16. So the year was 2001. They released in February, and Jordan had retired again from the Chicago Bulls in 1999. In the time frame in between then and 2001 in February, he became a minority shareholder in the Washington Wizards as well as president of basketball operations. And then in a crazy, unprecedented move, he comes back out of retirement and takes the floor for the Washington Wizards in 2001, wearing these Jordan 16s in the crazy ginger colorway. I mean, I'll never forget seeing that color that he decided to go with for his first game. And the original color was black with the varsity red, so kind of like a bread colorway. And the pair that I got, obviously you see here, is called the Retro Midnight Navy. So you've got the navy hits all over a mostly white silhouette. And the key factor historically with this sneaker is not only that it's a sneaker that Jordan came again out of retirement with, but you saw the entrance of a new designer in the Jordan brand for the flagship Jordan sneakers. Pretty big deal. Designer Wilson Smith took over the helm, and that was the first time a new designer has taken over the helm of the Jordan brand sneakers in over a decade. So for the first one out the gates, especially following up what a lot of people considered was a disaster in the 15s, I think Wilson Smith kind of killed it. Leaning on what have become some classic Jordan design elements like patent leather around the toe, I think Wilson Smith did a really good job of using what works, but also bringing his own spin and kind of a futuristic take without going too overboard like we saw with the 15s. I mean, this is in the middle of, we just gotten through Y2K, the internet is really starting to pop, people are really starting to get online, it feels like the future is right in front of us, and you see kind of elements in the design that denote that. This is a shoe that looks like it could honestly be plugged into a USB port and start lighting up on the sole. So one of the key focuses of the design was that Michael could wear this into the boardroom immediately after wearing them on the court. So you've got the shroud, which was like a very random, wild concept for me, at least as a 15, 16-year-old, that was over the shoe that you would then kind of, you know, take off right as you're about to play and kind of reveal the sneaker to your opponents or whoever was standing by there. And then you could put it back on, and it's kind of like more of a fashionable sneaker that you can wear with a pair of jeans, or like it was designed for Michael, you can wear it with a suit and really just have the patent leather toe cap showing out the bottom of your pant leg. You could almost get away with it looking like a dress shoe if you had the original all black colorway with a little bit of red. But like I said, I have a nostalgic bias towards this sneaker. I know it's not the world's most sought after Jordan and people aren't really going crazy for it, though I will say that I feel that it is underappreciated, and you should definitely take a closer look at a pair if you see one in person. I think it might surprise you a little bit, because in hand, sneakers can be drastically different than what you see in pictures or in video. And while you're looking at those shots of the sneaker, I want to talk a little bit about my experience with StockX. So if you're not familiar with StockX, it is a kind of stock market, if you will, of all things, and mostly the focus is on sneakers or luxury watches, sought after pieces of clothing, think like Supreme or Kith or what have you, and you can essentially bid on these items, and people that have these items that have to be unworn, new, authentic, will set a ask, and they have the ability to see your bid and accept it, and then you are immediately charged, and that product is then shipped to StockX, who will verify its authenticity and make sure you're getting what you're paying for, and then they will ship it to you. The opposite of that, of course, you can do as well. If you see somebody with something that you want and you are okay with paying the price that they're asking, you can match that ask, and the process goes as follows. They send it to StockX, it gets verified, and it gets shipped right to you. So I had set a bid of $205 for these, and at the time I think $270 was the lowest ask, and I would get periodic emails of the ask price lowering and lowering and lowering and lowering and going back up, and I just thought I'm gonna let it ride, and what happens happens. So eventually I get a congratulatory email that they are taking my money and they are shipping me a dead stock pair of 2016 Jordan 16 Retro Midnight Navies. Fan-frickin-tastic. I can't wait. So first it goes to StockX, and then it got shipped to me. It came packed in a very generic box. I don't know if that's the box that the seller sent or it was another box that StockX uses, but as much as I do like branding and slick packaging, I will say that when it comes to nice sneakers sitting on my doorstep, I prefer the box look a little bit more generic. I don't want it advertised to anybody passing by my home while I'm at work that there's a possibly nice pair of sneakers sitting waiting for just anyone to grab. So the box was nondescript and packed inside. It was very simple. It was literally just the box that the shoes came in, which, credit to the seller, the box was in great shape. It was that retro release, the black with the gold Jumpman, and then it had the white tissue paper with the little gold 23s all over it. So you've seen that on multiple Jordan releases throughout the years. And included inside the box were two cards. There was a green card, and it said, "Welcome to the future of sneakers and the future of commerce," blah, 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 giving you the rundown of StockX and what they do, pretty much like a little thank you note with a fake signature from the CEO there. I mean, nice little touch, nice card stock. And right next to that is the receipt. It's got my order number, it's got the style, size, everything, all my information is there, what I paid, and kind of like a certificate of authenticity in a way. And it's a nice little card that shows all that information, very concise. I like that. I want to keep that in the box for verification reasons moving forward down the line, or if I just want to remember what I paid for. It's nice to have all that information on that little card there, showing me, you know, when it went down and how much I paid, yada, yada, yada. And the last part, and I think what is kind of the signature of buying a StockX item, is the green tag that is actually on one of the sneakers in the pair there. And it's kind of like the signature stamp of approval, if you will, that you've got a verified StockX item. So it's a green plastic tag, and it's pretty cool looking. On one side it says verified and authentic with the StockX X logo in the middle, and then on the other side it says, "Please inspect item all claims null and void if the tag removed. And then it has a QR code in the middle, which I did not scan. I'm assuming that QR code takes you to StockX's website, maybe like a help forum section or a contact us section if you have any questions. And I know some YouTubers and other people have expressed concerns before with authenticity issues or quality issues or whatever. And from my understanding, from what I've seen and heard from people, that StockX does a pretty good job of being in contact and getting things resolved for you. So as far as the customer experience of buying on StockX, I thought it was very seamless and very easy. I mean, they take your information up front, and if your bid gets accepted, they automatically charge you, and the process begins. It's very similar to the Nike sneakers app in that if you get selected for a draw, then you're automatically charged and the sneakers are shipped and all that. So for me, the convenience is awesome. It's nice to be able to set an ask price for something and not have to haggle back and forth with somebody on eBay or in person or whatever, on Craigslist, Facebook groups, all that nonsense. You kind of can skip through all that, and two people can just agree, and the transaction happens, and StockX plays the nice middleman there. And to my knowledge, I don't believe I paid StockX to do anything, although I will say the shipping charge of $13.95 was a little excessive, but it is what it is, cost of doing business. And while I've been enjoying free shipping from Nike and other apps, I can live with a $14 shipping charge to get a pair of sneakers that I was kind of certain I might not ever get again. So because I'm not the type of person that's going to like really get out there and get all up in people's stuff and message people and do a lot of the running around and leg work, because frankly I'm lazy and I'm willing to pay for convenience if I can afford it, I really like what StockX offers because, like I said, it makes things really easy and you get access to a lot of different types of items or sneakers that I would have assumed are kind of just gone, right? Unless you see someone with a extensive collection. I wasn't planning on seeing that specific type of Jordan 16s ever again, but lo and behold, it's out there. And it's not like you have to pay some crazy premium for all the items on StockX. There's plenty of items between nice shoes, shirts, clothes, watches, whatever the case, that are going for under retail value and sometimes way below retail value. So you can get good deals on StockX if you are diligent, and if you're not just chasing all the hype sneakers, you can get a lot of good sneakers for a really good price, if not, you know, the retail that it would have cost you anyway. So overall, I got to give it a 10 out of 10. It really has changed the way that I'm thinking about getting my hands on dead stock pairs of sneakers. I mean, before I kind of felt like I was limited to trusting somebody I really don't know on eBay or going into the sneaker shops that have a lot of vintage dead stock items but are very expensive, and I don't really believe in like paying a crazy amount for just a pair of sneakers when I know that there's something that's going to come out down the line later in the year or even later in the month that I'm also really going to like, and I could have 2 or 3 pairs of great sneakers that I'm into as opposed to just one. So like I said, this has opened me up to a whole new world, and I would definitely recommend, if you are a sneaker collector, watch collector, or fine items collector, you can probably find some really cool things on StockX and be able to shop worry-free without fear of, you know, getting ripped off or scammed or anything like that. So that does it for me, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on the video here. Let me know what you think about these particular pairs of Jordan 16s, or the Jordan 16s in general. What did you think when they were released? What do you think about the colorways that came afterwards? And lastly, tell me a sneaker of yours that is something that you are really into or that you have a nostalgic bias towards that other people or the rest of us in the sneaker community are just kind of like, man, yeah, that's just a cool sneaker. For me, I feel like these are kind of a polarizing design. You either kind of loved them or hated them. Maybe you were indifferent. But for me, I mean, it's one of my favorite Jordan releases of all time that's not considered one of the great classic J's. So again, tell me a pair of sneakers that you like, that you feel like the rest of the sneaker community is sleeping on. Write down in the comments below. Looking forward to speaking with you guys. I've got the Jordan 7 Patas coming up next. Those came just as these came in the mail, and man, opening the box, I'm gonna do a POV unboxing of that one because it really is an event just getting those and seeing them for the first time. crazy, crazy, so much better in hand than they are in the photos. It's phenomenal. So guys, give me a like, subscribe, do the whole thing, tell your friends about the channel. If you like sneakers, tech, beer, and whiskey, I would appreciate your subscriptionage. It would mean a lot, and I will see you guys on the next one. Hope you have a good night, good morning, good day whenever you're watching this, and go out there and try something on StockX. I think you will be pleasantly surprised. All right, guys, peace.
Perfect.